22 years ago, in this city, I wrote my first line of code. I was young, I was nobody, I had a second-hand computer and an internet connection that worked when it felt like it. But I remember the feeling. The first time I wrote something, ran it, and watched it come alive on the screen, it felt like magic. It felt like I had built something out of nothing, and I was hooked. That feeling carried me through the next 2 decades. I went from writing code to leading developers, to managing teams, to running a company. Today, I'm the CEO of Netlinks, one of the oldest IT companies in Afghanistan. It has been a privilege, but I'll tell you something that I've never said publicly before. For most of those 22 years, I missed it. I missed the code. I missed coding. I missed building things with my own hands. Every CEO will tell you the same thing, if they're honest. You spend your career building towards responsibility, and you find yourself looking back at the work that made you fall in love with the work in the first place. A few months ago, I sat down at my laptop and I started building again. But something had changed this time. With the AI tools in my hands and the 22 years of experience in my head, I was actually building things in a single afternoon that used to take my team a whole month. Systems that would have required 5 engineers or 10 engineers. I was architecting them alone. I was not just coding again, I was coding 1,000 times faster, 1,000 times more ambitiously, building things that 22 years ago I would not have dared to imagine. And sitting there late one night, I realized something. What just happened to me is about to happen to every Afghan with an idea, with a laptop and an internet connection, and the will to build. That is what I want to talk to you about today. Not about technology, about us, about what becomes possible for this country, for our young people, for our businesses, for our future. And when the tools that used to belong to a few suddenly belongs to everyone, to all of us. I want to talk about how we own the future. Now, to own the future, you need three things. You need to learn, you need to earn, and you need to build. Now, for most of our history, Afghans had to fight for access to all three. The school was far away, the market was somewhere else, the tools belonged to someone else. And tonight, I want to tell you how quietly, suddenly, and almost without anyone noticing, that has changed. Afghanistan is a country of villages and valleys. Most Afghans do not live in Kabul. The best teachers, the best libraries, the best universities have always been concentrated in few cities. And most of our people have lived hours or days away from them. Now imagine a 16-year-old in a village in Bamyan, very smart, very curious, and hungry to learn. For most of human history, including most of mine, that young person's future was decided by an accident of geography. The teacher near them was as good as their education was going to get. The child today has in their pocket a tutor more patient than any human teacher, a tutor that speaks Dari, that speaks Pashto, a tutor that can explain mathematics, science, English, Quran, computer programming at any hour of the day or night for as long as they want to learn. Not metaphorically, literally. Today, I know a young person, let me call him, Ahmad, who lives in a province far, far from Kabul. A year ago, he would not write a single line of code. Today, he's actually building mobile applications. He learned by asking an AI to teach him in his own language at his own pace after his work was done for the day. Ahmad has never met a software engineer in person. He did not need to. He just got inspired, through videos online. For the first time in our history, that limit on an Afghan's education is not where they live, not what their family can afford, not who is around to teach them. The limit is curiosity, and curiosity is the one thing Afghans have never lacked. Afghanistan has always been a country of traders. For 2,000 years, our location, our resilience, and our work have connected us to the world. The Silk Road did not pass around us, it passed through us. But for most of the last 40 years, our economy has been smaller than our ambitions. Our brightest young people have grown up with a dream that, to be honest, breaks my heart every time I heard it. The dream was always to leave. I want to tell you about another young person, a developer here in Kabul. 3 years ago, he was looking for any work he could find. Today, he sits in a small office in Now and he builds software for companies globally. They have never met, they do not need to. He delivers work that 10 years ago would have required a team of 5 engineers. AI gives him the leverage. He earns in dollars, he supports his parents and his siblings. He pays his rent in Afghanis. He's not waiting for anyone to come and save the Afghan economy. He is the Afghan economy. And here is what I want this room to understand. He's not one person, he's a pattern. Across Kabul, across Herat, across Mazar, young Afghans with laptops are doing globally competitive work. Software, design, writing, videos, customer support, data analysis, accounting, translation. AI is the multiplier that lets one Afghan deliver what used to require a team of 10. For decades, our most talented young Afghans left this country to earn what their talent was worth. What if the next generation's dream is to stay, to build companies here, to employ Afghans, to serve clients in Dubai, in London, in Riyadh, in Singapore, from Kabul? This is not a dream. This is actually happening this year in this city. The only question is how big we let it become. My father's generation built businesses with a notebook and a sharp memory. The dukandar knew his customers, the trader knew his suppliers, the tailor knew his patterns, the restaurateur knew his recipes. This is how Afghan commerce has always worked, through relationships, intuitions, and hard work. I'm not here to tell you what has to change. I'm here to tell you that it just got more powerful than ever. The dukandar in Mandawi today can actually run his shop with the operational sophistication of a chain store in Dubai. The carpet exporter in Herat can write perfect English emails to buyers in Hamburg in 30 seconds. The pharmacy in Khairkhana can check drug interactions like a hospital in Frankfurt. The small restaurant on a side street can market itself with images and videos it generated itself. Not in 5 years, today. I've spent the last year building software for a floral business, floral shops, a small industry, a traditional industry, the kind of business that has been running the same way for many, many years. And I'll tell you, what is now possible for a single flower shop owner with these tools in their hands would have required a team of 15 engineers and hundreds of thousands of dollars to build. Just 2 years ago. This is not a story about flower. This is a story about every small business in Afghanistan. Look around this room. Every one of you knows a small business. Your families, your neighbors, your friends. The next decade will not be defined by a foreign investment coming to Afghanistan. It will be defined by Afghan businesses, large and small, becoming better, faster, smarter, and more competitive, using tools that are now actually available in everyone's reach. The bazaar is not going away. The bazaar is going global. I told you at the beginning that I came back to building. What I did not tell you is why it matters to me. I am 45 years old. I've watched this country lose so much and rebuild, and lose again and rebuild again. I've watched a generation of bright Afghans leave because the tools they needed were not there. For the first time in my career and for the first time in my life, the tools are actually here. They are in every phone, on every laptop. available in any languages, and ready to serve our people. To own the future, we do not need to wait for permission. We do not need to wait for foreign aid. We do not need to wait for the world to notice us. We need to learn, we need to earn, and we need to build with the tools that are already available in our hands. Our ancestors built the Silk Road with camels and courage, and our generation will build the next one with code and with curiosity. The road is open, and let's walk it. Thank you very much.